Hello, P6 students. Welcome to our today's radio learning program for science, produced by Rwanda Education Board with the support of UNICEF Rwanda. I am your radio teacher, Teacher Gerard. As we have always done, students, we always organize what we are going to use in the lesson. So for today, I will need you to get out and then pluck 2 flowers from the surrounding. Use a tissue paper because not all the flowers are friendly to us. After getting the 2 flowers, come with them and then get your notebook and a pen so that you can be recording what we will be learning. I will give you 1 minute to get organized. Great. Dear parents, I would like you to be close to the student and follow up what they are doing and support them. Thank you. Now, let us stand up to have a warm-up song that tells us what we are going to learn. At the same time, it is going to put us in the mood of our lesson today. I will sing 2 times. Then when I say it is your turn, you will also sing with me once. Thank you. Row, row, row your boat gentle down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gentle down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Now, students, it is your turn to join me and then we sing. Let's go. Row, row, row your boat gentle down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Fantastic. I love your voices and how you sing. Can we now write something about what we learned about in our last lesson? I want you to take 10 seconds to write down what we learned in our last lesson. Wonderful, wonderful. It is true that in our last lesson we learned about cattle or goats' health sanitation condition. Today we are going to learn something about plants. But before we get into the lesson, let us listen to this good message.
Nitwitaye iwacu Bruce Melody. Muraho neza, mahoro. Ni Bruce Melody nkuko nari maze kubivuga. Hanyuma uyu munsi bafitiye ubutumwa bumeze butya. Niba warabanye n'umuntu ufite ibimenyetso by'indwara ya coronavirus, cyangwa se ukabuzi ko hari uwuzi afite ibyo bimenyetso, ukwiriye kubimenyesha inzego z'ubuzima zikwegereye cyangwa ugahamagara kuri nimero 114 kugira ngo muhabwe ubutabazi. Ubutumwa burabareba, mugume mu rugo, mwoge intoki, amagara araseseka ntayo. Yuhu!
A wonderful message to all of us. Our lesson topic of today is definition and types of plant reproduction. Can you write that one down? definition and types of plant reproduction. Great. Our lesson objective will be, we will be able to define what plant reproduction is. Objective number 2, we will find out about why and which types of plant reproduction. Generally, students, we have 2 types of plant reproduction. Do you understand? Great. Can you write down these? We have reproduction in plants, which is called asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. This one happens in plants like sugarcane and cassava. There are many others. Asexual reproduction takes place in plants like sugarcane and cassava. We also have many others. Then we equally have a reproduction type that is called sexual reproduction. This kind of reproduction takes place in plants like beans, groundnuts, and maize, and so many crops that we have. Now, let us look at what can happen in asexual reproduction. When we take and bury pieces of cut sugarcane into the soil for 2 weeks, we will see some young sugarcane growing up from their cut sugarcane. That is asexual reproduction. Do you understand? That's so great. In beans and maize, we will have to plant seeds so that we can get new plants. When you plant the seeds, it will take about 1 week, whether it is for beans or for maize, because beans take 5 days and maize take 7 days. So it is about 1 week for both. Then after that 1 week, my friends, you will start seeing some seedlings coming up. You will see the maize starting to grow. You will see the beans starting to grow. You will see them coming off the ground in the garden. Are we together, students? Great. Now, using a piece of tissue paper, open the flower petal. Can you identify the parts of the flower that you can see? Good. Can you list the parts of the flower which you have seen? Wonderful. There are 3 parts of a flower that we have seen. The external parts of a flower. External. Everybody say external. Wonderful. External parts of a flower, these are the parts that we can see from outside. The second part is the male reproductive part of a flower. Then the third part is the female reproductive parts of a flower. Good students.
Come along and play with
Welcome back, students. External parts of the flower. These include the stalk, the calyx, and corolla. The corolla is also known as the petal. We also have the calyx. The calyx consists of small parts that look like leaves. They are called sepals also, and they protect the developing flower. Then the corolla. The corolla, which I said is also called the petals, they come in different colors. Some are pink, some are yellow, some are purple, you name it. There are so many. I know here you like different colors. The corolla consists of brightly colored parts, which is known as the petals. They attract insects and birds, thereby assisting during the pollination process. Are we together, my friends? Perfect. Our second part is the male reproductive parts of a flower. The male reproductive parts of a flower together, they are known as the stamen. I spell S T A M E N. Stamen. Parents, may you assist me such that we see into what our learners are writing. Good. The stamen is a male part of a flower, and it has the anthers. The anthers contain pollen grains. Pollen grains are the male reproductive cells. Then we also have the filament. The filament is a long stalk that is raising the anthers up such that they can be above the stigma. Now, the female reproductive parts of a flower. Write that one down. The female reproductive parts of a flower. The female reproductive parts of a flower are together called the pistil. I spell P I S T I L. Pistil. Are we together? Great. The pistil is made up of the stigma. The stigma is the part which receives pollen grains from the anthers during pollination. The movement of pollen grains from the anthers to the stigma is called pollination. Great. We also have a style. S T Y L E. Style. A style is a long and narrow tube that joins the stigma to the ovary. The style joins the stigma to the ovary. Then we have the last part, which is called the ovary. The ovary is the swollen part of the bottom of the style. In that swollen part of the ovary, there are small things called the ovules. These ovules, therefore, are the female reproductive cells. in a flower. The ovules are the female reproductive cells in a flower. When we have the pollen grains as the male reproductive cells, we also have the ovules as the female reproductive cells. Are we together? Great. When the pollen grains and the ovules come together, then fertilization will take place, and so we will get a seed. We will see about fertilization in our next lesson.
Come along and play with us.
Students, I will refer you to your textbooks, page 197 up to 200. There are some drawings there of the parts of a flower. With your pencil, may you draw these parts in your notebook. And if you don't have the book, you may look at your flower and draw the parts that you can possibly see. You may shade your drawings with any color as you wish. This will be our assignment for today. Until we meet again in our next lesson, bye-bye.